Hello, everyone. In case you couldn't tell from the title, I'm going to be playing a game called Substratum Protocol by, I believe, Pandion Games. It is a game that is currently out, or I think is soon to be out on Kickstarter. So, if watching this seems like a game you might be interested in, definitely go check it out. This is not sponsored by any means, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. One really cool thing about this is they have designed it so that you can play it with a GM in a group, or you can play it solo. Obviously, I'm playing it solo. So we're gonna go through character creation first, and we'll see how far I get because it's not ridiculously involved, but there's enough to it that it might take me more time than I would normally spend playing a solo game. So before I get into that, though, let me tell you a little bit about the game. I have a beta copy, a press release version that they gave me so that I could try it out and talk about the game and kind of give them some free publicity. Words are hard. I'm very awake this morning and very not functional. So, great time to learn a new system. So, in their rules, we have a welcome substratum team, and it says the Substratum Protocol was created in the event that an emergency subterranean expedition was ever needed. Okay, that's weirdly worded. Yeah, it was created in the event that an emergency subterranean expedition was ever needed. And there is a list of scientists, equipment, procedures to ensure the success, regardless of the nature of the emergency. Kind of the idea behind this game is that an interdimensional portal appeared in the Earth's core, and thus the Substratum Protocol was initiated, and scientists were rushed at all costs to the hastily built Fracture Observatory, as there is a giant crack in the Earth. According to this, we're the best and brightest scientists left to stem the apocalypse. Because I'm playing this alone, apparently I'm the only one who's qualified, which is questionable at best. Before we get too far into this, it does give some content warnings for claustrophobia, thalassophobia, despair, depression, and futility. So, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. We'll see. I mean, typically, even the more serious games that I run, yes, the Freudian slip. Thank you, Aaron. Just got to call me out. Even my more serious games don't tend to be super, super dark and whatnot. So we'll see. But it's still good to have that warning just in case. So there's another little note here, kind of like an end character thing. It says, team, the readings from our sensors don't make sense. Each time we send down a probe, the data we receive can no longer be interpreted. It scrambles our computer systems, and we have 3 experts on medical leave because they became completely unresponsive while trying to decipher the data packets. Understanding this phenomenon and fixing it will require a hands-on approach. You were selected as the best scientists to accomplish the task as per the Substratum Protocol. The world is crumbling around us, and many of you have loved ones you want to protect. But here is where you can do the most good. So they have given these scientists like an exosuit because, obviously the Earth's core is pretty hostile to most life, especially human life. It says the portal is 5,734 kilometers, which I only operate on, eagles per mile. So I don't really know how far that is. Below the surface, so even with the assistance of the exosuits, expedition planning has assessed that 150 grueling days of travel are needed to reach your destination. In this, because it's solo, there are normally two positions. There's mission control, so the MC or the GM or what have you. And it kind of explains, if you've never played a TTRPG before, mission control is there to guide and enliven the story, present challenges to the group, to be a fan of the scientists, to ask the players questions, and fill the world with their answers. And the scientists are here to narrate your actions, give everyone time to shine, which I think that's more of a mission control thing, but that's just me. Fill the world with your ideas, take risks, rise from failures, and build the story together. So at all times, expeditions will be equipped with the following equipment. Inflatable pressurized habitat, a Beep Bobot recon droid. So already, that's not even me, that's them. Not too serious and whatnot. Climbing and belaying gear, flares, and rations. There's a nice little picture here of the top secret fracture data that it shares. And one thing that I really like about this is even if I were to be running this as a GM, it's designed to be low to no prep. It says here that you build the characters together, answer the expedition questionnaires, and use the rolling tables and imagination to discover the story. So it's kind of nice to have games like this where you really don't need to have a ton planned. It also talks about kind of the juxtaposition of we are playing scientists. So, there's the logical and the scientific. But this is also, there's a portal in the center of the planet. It also has kind of an element of cosmic horror and the unknowable. And it says that as players dive deeper and closer to the portal, logic and science wane while the otherworldly grows. So we'll see how this goes. There is an end-game trigger, which I will figure out at some point, because I don't know that I'm going to get into actually playing today. But the end-game trigger in this is called the last hypothesis. So whenever that triggers, the final montage begins and gameplay shifts. After the final montage, we're supposed to fast forward 6 months, and then the players will describe the world and what their characters are doing now, for good or for otherwise. So let's get into character creation. There we go. I had to find my character sheet because I'm a professional. All right, so first is my name and pronouns. And yeah, you know what? I don't have a name picked out. One moment. Ooh. Again, not sponsored, but using fantasy name generators, they have a mad scientist name generator. So interesting. Okay, yeah, you know what? Dr. Goose it is. Because we're not being too serious. Dr. Goose. Dr. Goose. That's me. My scientific specialty is where I get to start doing some dice rolling. So, got a nice little table here. I'm going to roll my d20. Okay, that's fitting. I got a 3, so I'm a geologist. makes sense. You probably need one of those for, giant crack in the earth. So you start with 8 stress capacity automatically. And then I assign my skills dice. Rocks do rock. Thank you, Aaron. So our 6 skills are make, dash, evade, break, think, and sway. And we assign a D10, a D8, a D6, and then all others will have a D4. So let's see. Dr. Goose. We're going to go... We're going to go with a D10 for think, because they're smart. I think I'm going to go with a D8 for sway. And let's go with D6 for make. So everything else is a D4. So my dash, evade, and break. Hopefully I don't have to do any of those things because it's only a D4. Ooh, okay. So an optional thing is I can reduce my stress capacity, which automatically starts at 8. I can reduce it by 2 to increase another skill die. Can only be done during registration, which is what I'm doing now. It's our character creation. Yeah, you know what? Let's just roll with it. Let's just go basic for this one. And if Dr. Goose dies, we'll figure it out. We'll do something different. It does say that I can choose or come up with a starting item. For this one, I'm just going to roll a D20, which I got an 18. I have a measuring laser. Very scientific. I'm totally not just using one of those laser levels and or just like a regular laser pointer and calling it a scientific tool. Definitely not doing that. All right, and then I answer 3 questions from each questionnaire. So the personnel questionnaire. Number 9. Ooh. What is my opinion on the portal and its potential uses? I mean, I don't know where it goes. I just know that it's destroying our core, which is bad. It's not a good thing. It's not a nice portal. So I think I probably hate it. I think I'm probably just like, wow, this thing's killing my planet and my rocks. Not that you can kill rocks, but if you could, it would be. So wow, I cannot type this morning. So my personnel question, portal bad. Not like. My world building question is a 3. Why do you think the data scientists became unresponsive? Because they picked the wrong kind of science, obviously. Those data scientists just don't know what they're doing. They also picked the wrong kind of science. They should have picked a good one, like geology. Oh, 3 from each. Oh, shit. Okay. I can totally read this morning. I promise. So So going back to the personnel, got a 14. Notable quirks or habits. Chat, help me out on this one. What quirks or habits should Dr. Goose have? No pressure, but you know. Yeah, I definitely talk to rocks. Do they talk back though? It's the real question. We'll do another world building. 19. Okay, how are observatory personnel handling the situation? I feel like they are probably trying to appear professional, but high key losing their shit. You know, because like apocalypse and stuff. Like you do. Thank you, Aaron. That's probably accurate. But you know what? The rocks might talk back by the end of this, as you know, cosmic horror happens. Ooh, what is the proudest achievement in my career? Yeah, we can't do words, Aaron. It's fine. We don't need to do them. We don't write games ourselves or anything. We've never done that even once. So proudest achievement in my career. You know what? Because I saw a meme that I've seen before, but it just came back across my feed this morning that was talking about how like there's probably another rock out there that's really delicious other than salt. Dr. Goose found a second delicious rock. That is their proudest moment. Which, you know, to be fair, that's something to be proud of. Yeah, but like a new hardest rock isn't that cool. Like it's just a diamond, but harder. I like tasty rocks. Those are more fun because you can eat them. Damn it, Aaron. No, it's too early for that. All right. Last world building question. How do the scientists sustain themselves on the trip? Obviously, eating rocks. I'm gonna say that this rock. Yeah, nutritional rocks. It tastes like chicken. I mean, obviously, it's the chicken rock. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for my character creation. And we're doing pretty okay on time. I don't want to get too far into it because I could be here all day and I've got shit to do. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about rules and procedures, and that's probably where we'll end it. Ooh, rock shrimp. Yeah, rock shrimp and rock chicken. All the rocks, and they rock. So, like most TTRPGs, we've got our skill checks. So when players attempt something dangerous or take an action, skill check is required. So you determine the 2 skills that apply to the task or action. Draw 2 cards from a deck of cards, which I guess I should mention that This also, especially for the solo version, uses a deck of cards in addition to normal set of dice. So you determine the 2 skills, draw 2 cards from the deck, roll the 2 dice for those chosen skills, and you compare the sum to the value of each drawn card. And for example, ace is a 1, king is 13. So um, 2.5. I do. Let's just, for shits and giggles, do a little test of this. Shuffle my cards. Wow, Nightbot is just going hard, huh? I guess it's because it's oh no, I guess it is just my Nightbot. You do you, Nightbot. Just going crazy. All right, drawn 2 cards. I'm not gonna look at them yet because I'm gonna determine what skill I need to use. Let's say that I am using Think and Evade because that's my highest and one of my lowest. So that's a D10 and a D4. 10 and a 4. All right. Rolling my dice. Got 11 altogether. Hey, and I got a 10 and a 9. So, if the skill check is greater than or equal to both cards, it's a good outcome. If it's greater than or equal to 1 card, it's an okay outcome with a complication. If it is less than both cards, it is bad with a severe complication. So, I did great for this roll that's not actually part of the game because I'm just kind of giving an example. So players collect the cards that they beat and put them into their hand. And you can discard cards to power your exosuit's abilities. When the card deck runs out, shuffle a discard pile into a fresh deck. If there are no cards left to construct an action deck, which is, what we've got going on, all collected cards are discarded and shuffled to create a new action deck. When taking an action, there's a mandatory skill and 1 skill chosen by the player. Interesting. Let me, well, actually, let's just continue going through the rules before I go to the exosuit stuff. Okay, now I'm confused. So there's a thing about reducing rolled dice. So surviving an expedition is hard. Anyone who rolled reduces the current rating of the skill die with the highest rolled value by 1 level to a minimum of D4. I don't understand why. Okay, so it gives an example, and maybe just reading it out loud will make it make sense to me. So the example is make and dash, currently at D10 and D8 respectively, are used in a skill check, and the result is make 5 dash 8. The dash die reduces from D8 to D6. If the roll was a tie, make 5 dash 5, then the player can choose to drop one or the other. Okay, so yeah, I get it now. So whenever you roll, you are going to have to reduce whichever one is the highest, just because that is their mechanic for showing how difficult this journey is. I'm curious if you can restore that, but we will get there in a second. They do have advantage and disadvantage. And let's see how that works. Occasionally, a scientist may have an upper hand or an advantage when they are trying to accomplish, or what they are trying to accomplish, either by having a flashback or when the MC determines it makes sense narratively, and the opposite is also true. So when rolling with advantage, we roll the lowest skill die, and when rolling with disadvantage, we roll the highest. So 5e basically, just different dice. Interesting. Okay, there's quite a bit of mechanical stuff here, which isn't bad. It's just going to be a decent amount to remember. So there is a stress mechanic. So as a result of their actions, scientists may mark stress. If they reach their maximum stress, they are vulnerable. And when vulnerable, failing an evade or confront action results in a suit failure or sudden death of the occupant. Okay, so where this comes in is players can mark stress to increase their roll's result by 1 for every point of stress marked. So that makes sense. And here we go. Here's the mechanic I was looking for. Deep breath. To reset all of your skills to their maximum die, you can say you're taking a deep breath. This is a brief break in the tension. It can be done at any time, even during a fight. When a character takes a deep breath, Mission Control looks at the scene and introduces a new complication. Interesting. You can clear stress by using Repair and Heal Exosuit ability, or the travel action. Important to note that scientists can carry 3 items in their storage unit, unless it is something that's narrative only. That does not consume a slot. Items in the storage unit can be used in place of a skill, which would be good, because then you don't have to worry about reducing anything. An item's die rating can be decreased when used, just like skills. When using a D4 item, the item breaks after you use it, regardless if the roll was higher or not. So basically, if you're at a D4 with an item, it's going to break after you use it. You can also use Heal and Repair Exosuit power to repair items. And once between deep breaths, you can push yourself and your exosuit to the limit when performing an action using the overclock. And you can roll a d12 in place of a skill of your choosing during a skill check. If the outcome is okay or bad, you reduce the max die by 1 step. If the skill's max die is already at d4, oh yeah, you mark 2 stress instead. Okay, yeah, so it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. So actions, it's got some kind of preconceived actions that reminds me a little bit of like Powered by the Apocalypse games. You know how they've got certain moves that you can automatically do no matter who you are. So you've got Confront, which is when you want to attack or stand your ground against something dangerous, which you would roll Break plus whichever skill you can justify. Convince, which is Sway plus another skill. Evade, which is Evade plus another skill. Study, which is Think plus another skill. Prepare, which is Make plus another skill. And that is it for our actions. And yeah, let's go to the exosuit stuff. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff here. You know what? I think I'm going to save the exosuit for next time. Just because I normally keep those around 30 minutes. Just because solo games are fun. I like them. But for stream, it's not always the most exciting to just go on and on forever. So let's Okay. Actually, before I do that, so playing solo. Playing solo, you act as lead scientist of Substratum Expedition and have a team that can assist you. There is also the optional simplified solo, where it is just a standard character, not a team, which is probably what I'm going to do next time, because it sounds like a lot to try and manage a whole team by myself. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So there are some other things. So the expedition team has its own character sheet as well, which I probably won't do, just because I like the optional simplified version. But we'll do that another time. I will figure out how to do this simplified version, and then we'll go from there. Thank you all for coming and watching. Sorry, this was just kind of a informational and character building, but we will get into the juicy meat juice of it next time. So thanks for coming, and I will see you next week.